we're getting into tank picks on the first
pickies.
round. For those unaware, this is just a unique part of the North American format. You can see the 2 question marks at the top. The attacking team picks first. They will pick 2 tanks. Then the defending team will pick 4. The attacking team will then pick 3. Then the defending team picks 2. Then the attacking team picks the final tank. So both teams can see it. They have about 45 seconds total for each of the like each team total cumulative. I think they maybe just haven't quite started yet. We just pulled up the tank picking, but we're getting ready to start because usually the attacking team locks them in real fast. Predictions, Smiley.
Okay, predictions.
Inconsistency and consistent. That was why they hadn't picked yet, because we had to flip the sides.
So consistency, I think. So predictions. I think FHS is gonna pick it up. But I don't think it might be really close. I might be wrong, but I think FHS is gonna pick it up, and I think mainly because the addition of the Night One Rider has given their team more of a, I would say, a solidification. That they didn't have before. It's somebody that I think is, I mean, the first day that he got the top fantasy points on his team, right? I think is what happened, or the second, because I think he did, because he got 6 kills in one of the matches, which is an insane amount of fantasy points. Remember that? It was almost like 150 something.
So you're saying 4 what?
I think it's going to be a 4-3. I think it might be a 4-2.
I was going to go with 4-2 just because I was like, I feel like this can go either way, but then I would just say 4-3, and I feel like I say that too much. So I'm going to say 4-2. I'm going to say in favor of FHS as well. Just because Flare has been, like, they've been hot and cold, but FHS, while they've had consistency issues, you point out, it's been picking up since adding Night, and we have to see, like, is it just a fluke or not? Like, tonight will tell us really quickly, and you can see here, going into the tank picks on Himmelsdorf, we have FHS bringing an AMX 50B, an E100, a 2772 VZs, and 1 Batchat. Flare bringing double 113, double IS4, double VZ. Wow, so 222, and we're 222 back in.
And like I was saying before, it's just one of those things where, though, I mean, external has been like me and you have talked, the rust has come off. I mean, the thing is that, here's the thing, these 2 teams as a matchup are really good because the player skill is there. There's no doubt in my mind that all of these guys know how to play the game, except for like maybe Ferret. I don't know.
This is a unique defense from Flare. They are going hard up the 8 line with just about everything. They sent 1 IS4 into G3, and everything else is just coming into this courtyard and up the 8. The Dark Ninjas peeling off, Banjo's peeling off, Nexus and External just going for a blind pick attempt, and they're going straight in on Chase and Knight Rider. They are not slowing down. They're going to pick Chase. External does get double tracked. Nexus continues going forward. The Batchat stumping is
the fire on External really important because they don't have to shoot at him anymore. So now it's 2 down, and
FHS is up.
Chase is still alive. Chase is actually still alive.
Chase is still alive. They will pick him in the back here in a second.
Yeah, Dark is looking to pick him. No, actually, he might.
He slinks. He's slinking away.
Yeah, and we have Vova coming down the hill. Once that Batchat clips come into play, I think it might be over here for the Team Flares defense. Yeah, because Volvo's probably just going to go in with Fishy behind. He is...
And Vova may have been the one that caught External on fire. He was dumping his clip from that H9 position, and yeah, Flare just... The HP's somewhat close. Ooh, that was a not great shot around the corner. So, we talked about server reticle and things like that, and that was one of those situations where an auto-aim would have been useful. His reticle went sky high.
Look at him taking the shot for his boy. I don't know why. It's a E100, but he did. I think
That's true. That's true. He really wanted to get that clip out.
I think he did. I think he really did want to get that clip out.
And then Ferret misses that.
Did Flounder just bounce off his booty? Ferret got a big booty, I guess.
Maybe.
I swear he just bounced off of it. So what did you think about that 8-line courtyard play? I feel like
a lot of blind push, very blind.
I feel like a lot of teams, they're not the only team to push into this courtyard on defense and get completely obliterated as a response. We've seen it time and time again where you have people like Cat Jam, people like Tomatitos, where they, they'll either be like really aggressively 1-2 and get into, a 4-5 line, play in the attacking team city and lose, or they'll take courtyard and, lose the tank for free. And so it really comes to question, like, I feel like a lot of time when we see courtyard plays, we're not really seeing like good responses in what they end up blind pushing into. They didn't even pick up. I think Chase lived till the very end, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was down to a one shot. I think they expected there to just be one tank there, like that 113 or not 113. I think it was a 277. I think it was Knight. I think they expected just one tank there, and they were just gonna pick it and drive on through or something. And he wasn't alone. They had a 50B with it too. The second it was a 50B and the 277. I mean, they just didn't have enough stopping power to really just kill that stuff and get out. And the Batchet on the hill was back in time to get his clip out. He wasn't out of position. It was all just not great. They were looking at
the. I mean, look at the damage. Manu did 4K. And you have Vova that did 3,600. So it looks like Vova, when I was saying he was coming in with this clip, it looks like he had already gotten a clip off. Most likely he was playing on
from
the
that
hill.
Ledge at H.
From the
he
ledge,
was shooting.
Right?
That's why external and stuff got double tracked and set on fire. He was dumping his first clip with heat in the back of them from that ledge. So although he had done his initial scout, he was in position in time to be ready to receive that push. And shows you
doing big damage in a big tank.
It was all good. Yeah. Just really good response from FHS. Like, the HP looked a little scary for a bit, but the fact that external and Nexus just kind of went down so quickly, it just I mean, external got his 2 shots out technically, but Nexus only got 1 penetrating shot out in that push, and that's not enough to make that worth it.
Correct.
From a consistent fire 113 with more 2,500 HP.
Well, no, because I'm 100% sure Chase got his whole clip out almost clean.
Oh yeah, he definitely did. And then he got more afterwards, maybe, unless he got the fire tick. But yeah, it wasn't, I don't know if it was the wrong tanks for it or telegraphed because they spotted it up the 8-line early enough, or I don't know. I don't know what the issue is with just kind of the generic defensive favored, or defensive playing Himmelsdorf. I get it, I guess, if you're trying to take advantage of what you see your enemies do.
I think Wally said it best. He was like, he said that the reason why they play defensively on Himmels is because it works.
Yeah.
And I think, and to be honest with you guys, like, I know it's like, oh, they're they're camping and blah blah blah. But I mean, if you think about it, how many teams won against them when on defense? I think only one. I think it was literally FHS, and that's because they literally played really well and hard countered it. Well,
yeah,
I mean, they just actually, you can't even call it a hard counter. They just
react to the very obvious lineup that was being brought that was screaming, guys, I don't think we should set up like this.
Correct. But yeah, exactly.
You can do stuff like this to be ununpredictable.
Yeah, because we saw other teams try to do it too, and it didn't work because a better team had done it a better team had done it in the past, right? So you have people like Cat Jam that tried to kind of remake that, but they went. What did they do? I don't know if they didn't watch the battle that FHS did, but they literally took a IS-7 to fight an IS-4 solo. That's not a what in this meta. That's not a thing.
And
even an old meta
line is hard.
Even like before Equipment 2.0 and field mods, I feel like that would still be an IS-7 loss for the most part.
Should be.
If the
IS-4 should be able to make the IS-7 bounce a shot at least.
And also really the IS-4 is playing defensively, and he has more HP to start off with. So he's more likely to hit his first shot than the IS-7.
And whenever there's a little distance, the IS-4 gets 2 shots to 1 always. And that and being able to force that is really powerful.
So it's just little things like that I hope, teams learn from. But
Double 60 TP. I'm sorry.
Double 50B, dude? Double 50B, too.
We got some interesting lineups here. I'll wait a second. I'll just name it out now. So FHS now on their defense bringing double 50B, double I7, double VZ. Team Flare on their attack bringing a 113, double 60 TP, a 50B, a 277, and a VZ. That is a really, really fast defense. And they may be doing something similar to what Flare just did to them, but with different tanks. I'm unsure. I mean, it's looking like a very aggressive defense just by their dispersion off the start, and they can't anchor and sit back too far with this double 50B. What do you think of double 50B in this meta?
It actually is, to be honest with you, is this the first time we've seen it? Because if given the right opportunity, it's actually very strong. Because, you know, what's 1,600 times 2? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's 3,200. And you have it with double VZ as well. And
exactly. And so what ends up happening is, even if they both bounce 2 shots, it's still enough to kill tier 10 heavy, most of them.
This is the right call by Flare, by the way. This is really smart. They had their initial, which was a very defensive initial, because they go, look, we know what they're going to do something really crazy. I didn't actually see external take damage from the IS-7s, I guess, but they're saying something crazy is going on.
You know what this is reminiscent of?
And now that they saw these tanks lit, they know where everything is. They know where the IS-7s were, and they knew the zero line. Everyone come up the hill. We got big, beefy Dark Ninja and a 60 TP. We got double 60 TP. Let's just go zero line and retake hill. Those I7s will be completely out of the fight, even if they snipe at us when we counter push. It's fine, as long as we're all ready to go.
So what do you think about both teams losing their defense?
I didn't like Flare's just kind of blind push. FHS's is a little bit interesting because I remember strats like this.
Because here's the thing.
It's on Team Flare to react right.
Yeah, but I don't think Team Flare can though, right? Because like the 60 TPs are beefy and they do have a lot of HP, but at the same time, they're slow.
I think taking more damage too. I think that the right solution was, the second upon seeing that lineup, was to just send everything zero line.
Oh, here it comes. I think the 50Bs are just gonna get out. Yep, you're gonna see Flounder and the other 50B just leave. They're gonna. Here's the thing too: 50Bs have really quick reloads. If Knight and Vova can take the hits, they can end up getting another clip out, and then the IS-7s can just like, basically clean up.
Nexus is really caught out. He got really far ahead of that push, and he actually dies. That's a really big mistake because the 60 TPs are only just arriving. The IS-7s
Flounder is gonna get picked here.
And they're trying to keep these guys isolated. They need to try to block them and prevent them from running. If they're able to do that and kill these guns, it's pretty much over. Because it's pretty much over because
there's 2 IS-7s that are correct.
And this is why I've seen a lot of these types of strategies going back years try to play out that FHS pulled. And the main thing is, if Flare doesn't consolidate and just group up, and especially the fact that they have double 60 TP tanks like that, then yeah, you can pick them apart, especially if they do a normal initial. But Flare was smart enough not to do a normal initial. They recognized the lineup. And that's the biggest takeaway from this, is that you can surprise a team once, but Flare didn't allow themselves to get complete. They got a little surprised.
And these 60 TPs are going to take the shot, drive into the IS-7s. IS-7s can't do much, especially, when, the one-shot VZ. If you shoot the 60 TP, then you can't shoot the one-shot VZ, and then it's just over.
Fire.
It's unfortunate that, the thing is, I don't know why they didn't bring all hill. My guess is that the IS-7s were there to kind of hold off something, and they were hoping to clip anything that Team Flare had on the bottom, right? Like maybe crossing in into the courtyard or something.
There used to be similar strats like this with 5 bat chats and things like that on Himmel's store for 4 or 5 50Bs. And it was playing out kind of how I expected. It's interesting to see, but then once you see a game like this play out, you kind of realize.
Well, here's the thing: I think it would have been their win if they went all hill. It would have been their win, though. That's the thing, because they got so much early bleed. Yeah, because they got so much early bleed, and then they would have had to hold down IS-7s that they had to push into.
Well, their early bleed though was from the IS-7s on the low ground getting shots into external, I think.
Really? I thought it was the 50Bs clipping. into...
No, the 50Bs and Zs just went straight up. They went. No, I don't think it was 50Bs.
I meant like the bleed on hill. They got better bleed on hill initially.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
and so if the
okay.
IS-7s were there, you know.
Oh, I thought you meant like the damage to external. The damage to external is Oh, okay. I misunderstood. But yeah, you can see post-game stats, Dark Ninja and Banjo up there. Dark Ninja getting 3 kills.
So they both lost their defense.
They both lost their defense in kind of spectacular fashion of
I'm gonna push
you can do aggressive
defenses,
but it needs to be with purpose and with like some sort of scouting information or some reasoning behind it. Like,
I mean,
I understand
they couldn't go any lighter, right? Like, what if they took like 2 bat chats, right? Instead of IS-7s, like obviously, you know, Team Flare could just play the 8-line like normal because like who's gonna stop them? The 250Bs and the bat chats, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So,
the only weakness I saw from Flare was the initial. They honestly, I mean, they can afford to do that, but I think the safest bet was. I'll be honest, when I called and I saw lineups like that, and I had something, especially with these like abilities to counterpick, I'm bringing those 60 TPs straight up and over the top on the 0 line right from the beginning. Like I'm not messing around with anything kind of slow, because you could see the IS-7s actually got up the hill pretty quickly. It was actually kind of close, but I'm just saying, you've got this light lineup. You can't deal with A-line cap pressure. All I have to do is be there. You have nothing that can side scrape, nothing that can deal with it. All I have to do is set up my guns and just anchor and be ready to receive you and not have anyone too isolated, and we should be fine. And that's pretty much what happened. It just was kind of the step 2, but